Okay, today we're going to be making a fish game. So first of all, we're going to start off by opening Scratch and deleting the cat sprite. We'll start off by importing a sprite. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a game where the shark eats a little fish. So first of all, I'm going to find the shark. So here we are, there's the angry shark. And I'm then going to add another costume, because obviously when he eats a shark, I want his mouth to open. Right. As you can see, the shark is pretty big, but instead of making it smaller by shrinking the sprite, what we're going to do is we're just going to add a looks block, which will decrease the size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the size to around about 40%. And then the other sprite that I'm going to need is a fish. So I'm going to choose this fish over here. I'm going to now change this and call it shark. And I'm going to call this fish 1. Right. And again, I can copy this code to the fish sprite. But I'll start off with the shark sprite. So what I will start off by doing is I am going to create a forever block. There we are. And in that forever block, I'm going to do an if else. And as it's being controlled by the mouse, if it's touching the yellow fish 1, I want it to point towards fish 1. And then I want it to switch its costume. So at the moment it's on costume. I'll start off by having it on that costume. And I'm going to go to looks and I'm going to switch its costume to 1B. Otherwise, if it's not near the fish, I want it to be on 1A. Then I'm going to add an if. To this if statement, it's going to make it move around. There we are. And what I want to do is I want to have a sensing with if it's distant, because we want it to use the mouse. So if the distance to the mouse is less than 5, what I want to do is I want it to point towards the mouse. And then I want it to move maybe 5 steps. And obviously I want it to have a little bit of a weight, otherwise it's just going to go a little bit crazy, as it is right now. Oh, there we are. Right, now moving on to the block for the fish. Actually, before we do that, let's just sort the stage out. So I want it to have a nice background, so I'm going to import nature. Let's have a look. Underwater. Brilliant. Don't need that one anymore. And that's sort of setting the scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a variable here. So every time the shark eats the fish, it gets 1 point. So I'll start off by making a variable called score. And usually the best place to put the variable is in the stage script, because there's not really much going on in the stage, and then it just stops your other sprites and scripts overflowing. So it's better to put it here. So what I'm going to do is when the start flag is clicked, I'm going to set the score to 0. Okay. I'm going to go back to the fish now. Now, what I want the fish to do is I want the fish to randomly appear and hide, and I want it to keep appearing so that I can keep eating it, or the shark can keep eating it rather than me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by hiding the fish, and then I'm going to wait. And then I'm going to go to operators, and I'm going to sort of like randomly wait between 1 to 5 seconds. And I'm going to add a if-else control block. And what I want it to do is, if it's a random equals 1, because I want it to sort of move around from place to place. So I'm going to set the x, as you can see, can you see it moving here? I want to set the x and y coordinates. So I am going to set x minus 240, and I'm going to point it in the direction of 90 degrees else, and I can copy this. I'll just move that here, underneath here, and I'm going to just change that. I want it to be in opposite direction, and then I'm going to set the y to a random minus 180 to 180, and then I'm going to show the fish and then set it to 40%. Right, now I'm going to add another forever control block, and in here I am going to add an if, and if my sprite is touching the shark, I'm going to wait for 5 seconds. I don't want it to disappear straight away, so half a second. It's touching the fish. Then obviously I want to change the score by 1, and I also want to play a sound, so I'm going to go to sound and I'm going to play a sound. Now I don't need to record it, I can actually import the sound because there's loads of sounds here. So I'm just going to go to effects. It's a bit loud. I think I'll go to pop, and change that to pop, and then I can hide the fish. Right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another wait, because I want the fish to appear again, because, you know, I want the game to carry on. So I'm going to wait, and I'm going to pick a random operator, so I'm going to wait randomly for 1 to 5 seconds, and then I'm just going to duplicate this whole block again, and then I don't need any of this, so I'm going to hide, get rid of all that, and put that in there. I'm just going to add this just here. There we are. And then what I'm going to do is I want the fish to move around, and if it touches the edge I want it to bounce. So I am going to go to motions, and I'm going to go to turn, and I'm going to go back to operators, and I'm going to pick random degrees. So 10, 10. Then I want it to move around about 3 steps, and then if it's on the edge, I want it to bounce. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of a weight. Of 0.1 seconds. Right, so let's have a look at this. So now when I press start, as my fish is moving around, there's my fish. That big fish. And there's my sound. Maybe I might change that to a little bit more. Now, what I can actually do is, if I want different fish, I can actually import some more fish. So let's have a look. I've fished 4, and I'm going to import fish 3 as well, and fish 2. And then I can just call it fish 2, fish 3, and then what I can do is I can copy all of that script onto the other fish. Now, the only thing that I have to do now is I have to re-copy this because it's only for fish 1. So I can duplicate this, and again, don't need any of that bit. Get rid of that, and then I can stick that in here. Actually, I should just take it out and duplicate it again. So I can put that in there, and put that in there, and then change that to fish 2, change that to fish 2, change that to fish 3, change that to fish 3, and press the start button. Oh, they're all coming at me. Unfortunately, my score's not changing, so okay, so the reason why the score isn't changing is because I accidentally made a mistake here, and I've written set score to 1, and really it should be change score by 1. So if I change the score by 1, so every time the shark touches the fish, it changes the score by 1. So let's just see if it's changed. So I have to change it in all of these. Just move that block, and we'll change the score by 1. That back here. Do the same here. Move that block out. Change the score by 1. And the fishes are still too big, so I'll change the scrap fish so it doesn't piss them off. There, that looks about right. Let's play this now, and hopefully it should be working. Obviously I'm forcing it to work, but as you can see, that's your fish game, so have a go.